Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sesh Grand Prix. Unfortunately, this part of the broadcast had to be delayed due to FIA regulations. We've gotten the red flag, so we'll keep you guys updated as information becomes available. Sorry. And we're back. I'm your host, Raveheart, here as always with my best friend, my partner in crime, my co-host, Taylor Surreal. And after a long delay, we are here to talk to you about the Belgian Grand Prix, or Belgian Grand Prix qualifying again, because they didn't actually race. Um,
Belgian lack thereof.
yep. So Taylor, did you actually watch this? Watch this one.
Well, this one I basically saw off of like a 5-minute YouTube clip, so no, I didn't
Yeah.
watch the actual coverage.
The YouTube recap covered literally the entire course of the race.
Yeah, that's all I need to see.
Uh, Dude, the editor from like F1's YouTube channel is just like, yes, I ain't gotta do shit this weekend.
Oh, finally.
Weekend off. But all right, let's go into the results. So yeah, they only completed the one lap, or 2 laps, or whatever. Technically,
I think it was 2.
because they did the 2 formation laps, so which means the second formation lap counts as. I don't fucking know. Like, I've seen everybody, which we're gonna get into some F1 Twitter stuff later, but this one's different. I've seen a lot of people talk about, oh, I'm gonna download the FIA rulebook. I'm like, the fuck would you do that? Why would you actively make this more boring for yourself? But by having to like read a rule book written by pedantic Frenchmen, like, nah, I ain't signing up for that shit.
No,
But
that's the last thing I'd want to do.
yep. So we have George Russell P2 back-to-back points. I want to point out I called that one. I did not see it going like this, but George Russell P2, first F1 podium. Congrats to George Russell. It's like I don't know if his luck was good or bad this week.
Seems pretty good to me.
Yeah. Lewis Hamilton, P3. Danny Rick, P4.
Let's go.
Sebastian Vettel, P5. And yeah, there's no other way to say it. Nikita Mazepin rolling in for the fastest lap.
I wonder what the odds would have been in like Vegas if they were betting on this race.
I'm pretty sure that every bet that you placed in Vegas on this was canceled owing to the fact that the race didn't actually happen.
Well, they still crowned the first place, second place, third. And imagine if you just out of nowhere picked the lineup that happened and the fastest lap. I wonder what the odds were for that to happen.
Astra-fucking-nomical. But
That's
yeah,
all I think of when it happened. When I saw the outcome, I was like, imagine if you bet on this.
So now let's get into the Predictors Championship. We both had Max Verstappen in P1, which net us 25 points each, and we both had Max on pole. So we got the other 5. The scores change, but the gap stays the same. Braveheart Racing, 119 to Surreal Grand Prix 52.
Hey, I finally broken the 50 mark. Let's
Yep.
go.
Yep. You're getting up there. You're getting up there now. Not quite far enough to be considered a challenge yet, but
it's no longer me versus you. This is me versus me now. It's me versus me. I'm just trying to be better every single time. I'm trying to grow each time. I just don't want to stay stagnant in the points now. Now it's just, what can he do? We'll see.
Yep. So yeah, this week, I think of all weeks, we need to hand out another Golden Cock Award, and that one's going to 3 people this time, or technically 1 person and 2 groups of people. But it's going to Michael Massey, the Formula One race director, Formula One itself, and the FIA for the fucking shit show that was this weekend. One, like, having watched the whole fucking thing, it was depressing. Because it was like, okay, are they going to race? Are they not? Like, you know.
And you stayed up, or
Yeah, I powered
got
through
up
because
for
we
this.
did the qualifying reaction because we wanted to talk about George Russell putting it on the front row. By the time I was done editing and uploading that video, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I just powered through it and stayed up. And yeah, that was it was disappointing. I think our rain dance may have been a bit too effective. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Next time we're gonna dial it back a little bit. Maybe
yeah.
not
Taylor's
go
gonna sleep with his
pajamas.
PJs inside out. I'm gonna do the rain dance. We're gonna split it
Yeah,
up.
exactly. We're gonna
Try and cover our bases
allocate
that
a
way.
little bit here.
Um, yeah, that was, and
Sorry,
like,
guys, that one's on us.
yep, we will take full responsibility for that. But yeah, it's just like with the people not able to get out of the parking lots, and also just having to sit out there in the fucking rain for multiple hours while they all got their shit together. Yeah, it's just like, and the back and forth nature of it all. There was no one seemed to be in control of anything. And like, look, I said this before the before we started recording, and I'll say it again now. Like, it's not like I have my shit together right now, but like, I ain't trying to throw an F1 race. Like,
Right.
this is your business. You should know what's, at least have like a general idea of what's coming during a race weekend in order just to be able to plan it out. And it just doesn't
Should have
seem
been
like,
prepared. Should have
yeah,
been prepared for this. This should have been somewhere in the handbook. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It doesn't happen often, but it should have been. You should have had something. You should have known what to do, and it didn't seem like they did.
and supposedly they're bringing all the teams in to like do like to research rule changes and shit like that. I don't really know what, if anything, is actually going to come out of that meeting, but like, remember Zach Brown was saying something on Twitter about how they shouldn't be awarding points for this race. Um, I don't know. I took it off the storylines because it was just like everybody's going to be talking about that anyway. So it's like,
I didn't even think that a winner or first, second, third was even declared. I just thought it was like a did not finish for everybody, like kind of like a well, let's just cross this race out. Like I didn't realize that until we talked about it, and I was like kind of dumbfounded at the fact that they even allowed a winner, or like that's
it does. Yeah, it does seem a little weird. But all right, so let's jump into the storylines for this week. Um, First one we're gonna talk about is, did George Russell lock up that second Mercedes seat this week? I'm thinking yes. I'm thinking it's in the bag for George. Like, I know like the rumors are saying like everything's gonna come hot and heavy at Monza. That's when all the announcements are gonna come. I don't know if that's gonna be the case, but I think eventually we're gonna hear that Max is the, or not Max, that George is the man at Mercedes. And the question
well,
is, where does Valtteri go? Does he go to Williams? Does he go to Alpha? Does he go to Rally? Who knows? He is Finnish.
All I know is I already had George locked in my brain before this happened. Now after this, now the display he put on, how he can perform in the wet, how he can perform at that track. I mean, I think he's concrete now. I think he's really in there now. Like I think secretly in the back office or the paddocks wherever he is, the masterminds behind Mercedes. I'm not going to say their names because I don't really like them. I think that
Or what,
they
are they
were
like
like,
fucking Voldemort?
yes,
When you say their names, they're going to be able to track you down and shit?
yes, no. I just don't like giving them credit. I think they're sitting there like, yes, we made the correct decision. And yeah, I think it's 100% solidified at this point. We'll see though.
I mean, Lewis isn't exactly helping the situation right now, tagging
Well,
him as his dog in that Instagram picture.
that I think is a little bit of foreshadowing. I don't think that was accidental, to be honest. I think that was something
Oh, see,
comically foreshadowing. Yeah, but you said it best. The real question is where is Botas going?
yeah,
At this point, I think that's the real question now.
and also like I think if there was one thing that like could be the like if on the off chance that was still actually up in the air, which
Right.
I do not think it was. I think they've been locked on George. It's just a matter of like getting contracts worked out at this point. But uh, brain fart. Um, like if it was still up in the air, putting a Williams P2, like even given the conditions, it's like Senna in his like first Monaco. Like he was not running in a car that should have been anywhere near the front of the grid, but he made that happen. And
And that's the thing. There was never a crash that allowed this. There was no, because we're talking qualifying here. It's not like he just, miraculously went through debris and was the last man standing. No, he put out an incredible display in the not just the wet, but the sopping wet.
yeah, and I think Prost won the race on count back or something like that. Like it was some obscure rule that was pulled out in order to take that win away from the late great Senna. But next one, and this is one I think we already know our. But I think I already know your answer at least. Is does F1 race director Michael Massey deserve to keep his job next year? And I'm gonna say fucking no. Cause
I'm gonna say it should be on the table, like up in the air, like they should be discussing it. This is ridiculous. And amongst other things that have happened the rest of the or previously in the season, um, this is very weird and ridiculous in my opinion. First off, let's talk about it had been pouring rain the entire day before for qualifying. We saw it. It was a lake out there, a
yeah,
goddamn swimming pool. And when they woke up the next morning, it was still coming down, cats and dogs. So it's
not
not
even that.
like,
It might have been
oh,
worse.
there you go. So it's not like, oh, we woke up, it's cloudy, looks like it's gonna rain, we'll continue on. And oh, it's drizzling now. Oh, now it's starting to come down. Maybe it'll clear up. No. And they have the most advanced Doppler radar access that exists
Yeah,
because of all the money that's involved. So they see the massive cloud and density of the cloud above the track that hasn't gone anywhere for 2 days. How the hell? What is he doing saying wait it out for 3 or 4 hours? I, I don't know. I think whoever else is behind the curtain, pulling the strings of S1 is looking at his job like,
yeah.
hmm,
Maybe we need to make a different decision. Now, like I fully
yeah,
understand the guy who he's replacing was one of those like he had the respect of every driver, of every team principal. There
the
was
greatest yet.
the guy I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but like the guy Michael Massey replaced.
Yes, yes.
It's like it's never easy for someone to like replace a kind of a universally beloved figure, but
That's tough.
you have this weekend, you have the fucking travesty that was the Monaco broadcast team. Like there are decisions that have been made across the course of the season that's just like nah, you it's like you're not making decisions based on the driver's safety, you're making them based on your ego.
Yes, correct.
It's like Sepp Blatter when he made that, movie for FIFA. It was like the heroes of the movie were the executives. I'm just like, who makes a fucking movie where the heroes are suits?
An asshole.
Yeah, and I think Michael Massey is up there on that list of people who would do that shit.
Yep. It's definitely coming to light.
All right, let's move on to the next topic, and this is gonna be something new this week. It's F1 Twitter talk. Had a civilized debate with Cranky Yankee F1 on Twitter. I'll throw the images up so y'all can see what we were talking about. But it's should the ticket holders for this race get refunded? And like I'm not saying like okay, like you know the race promoter needs to send everybody's money back, or you know one of the title sponsors needs to cut a big ass check to pay everybody back. But like there needs to be some kind of remedy to people standing out there for 4 fucking hours in the rain and seeing a 3 minute F1 race. Like,
Yeah. So at first I was like, what the? This is effed up. Like they need their money back. Like imagine you go to a basketball game or something and the lights go out in the stadium and they can't turn it back on and everybody has to leave. I would expect my money back as a consumer. However, when I think about it, I don't know how the financing of F1 totally works. So I don't know where that money goes immediately once it's received or if it's siphoned off or gone. However,
most of the time, I believe the ticket prices are used to basically pay vendors, to pay anybody that's working at the track that weekend. Like, the ticket sales and sponsorship money are what fund pretty much everything. So, as I think it said in his original tweet, the one I responded to, it wasn't yeah, here. F1 wasn't the F1 didn't give him the refund. Michelin, the tire sponsor, cut the check. So it's like I don't know what the other possible options would be. Like, like have it be like fucking music festivals and just carry the tickets over to next year.
that's kind of what I was thinking. Next,
Do a kickflip.
God damn it. Let me go back so that we can cut it nicely. So I don't know.
Oh no, I'm leaving this in.
Okay. I don't know what the better option is to like just let it ride out, give them a voucher for obviously not the next race wherever it is in fucking Deutschland or whatever, or where's the next race?
Zandvoort, the Netherlands, Dutch Grand Prix.
Anyway, I don't because you can't just do that. People aren't going to travel. Or give them a voucher for next year at the same track, like, hey, come back. Or if you just don't refund anything and be like, hey, that's part of the thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, or like another idea that I like thought might be a good one is like have like your 2021 ticket be worth a certain percentage off the next year.
Something.
It's like it doesn't have to be a straight up, dollar. It doesn't have to be them handing out cash, but like I feel like the situation needs to be remedied in some way.
Some way, I agree completely because I understand, you can't always just fork the money back over with a massive, you know, revolving machine that is the F1 or something like that. But something needs to be done because that being said, these people did know, especially with qualifying or whatever. Well, no, they. It's tough to say because when did
Yeah.
people buy these tickets? It could have been months ahead of time. Could have been last season or whatever. I
I
don't know
mean,
when tickets went on sale.
I bought tickets for the U.S. Grand Prix in June.
Right. So you don't know what the weather's going to be, obviously, that far out. So it's not a question of, well, you knew it was going to be like this. Well, no. So something should be done. Something needs to be done.
Yeah, it's like
I think.
yeah, it's just I don't know what the answer to this question really is, but it's like something should happen.
Yeah, something to benefit the fans that showed up and were outed their money
Yeah.
for a 4 lap, two real lap, not even two real laps, to just they saw nothing, and then they had to wait all
I
that
mean,
time.
they saw the driver of the day, Burt Nylander, the fucking safety car driver, do more laps than F1
Right.
cars. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on what this is like, what ends up happening.
Yes.
But
Keep me
it,
updated.
yeah, I'm sure we'll be coming back to this again soon. Um, I'm actually need to leave a pause in here because I have to take my insulin pump off because I have to fill a cartridge, but it's beeping at me, so I'm gonna
Hey, no worries.
wrap it in my comforter so that the sound doesn't travel.
No worries. Do what you gotta do, my man. Yeah. Get into it.
That ought to cover up the beeping. All right.
Change it if you need to.
Oh, no, we good.
Okay.
Yep. All right. To get back into it. All right.
Mhm.
So moving on to this week's big question. And yeah, I don't really know how to phrase this. Poop gate, dump gate, the mystery pooper of Spa. For those who aren't aware, because I think this is one of the lesser covered one of the lesser covered incidents from this weekend. But Lewis Hamilton, I guess, has a personal trackside toilet, and somebody decided to roll into said toilet, drop a big old deuce in there, and then just leave it.
On one side, I'm glad I went to the toilet. But the one I went to, someone had dropped a crazy bomb in there. It was the worst thing ever.
Now, I have my theories on this. Now, the prevailing one that's out there right now is that it was a Netflix Drive to Survive, crew member, producer, whoever. My theory is a little different. I think Max snuck in there sometime in the 4 hours before that race, dropped a big old deuce in there to assert his dominance over Lewis Hamilton.
Oh man.
Because
I hope.
it's like in high school when you clogged up the toilets in the visitors' locker room before a home game to make sure that they had a as poor a time as possible in the run up to face off.
That would be the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
We did that. Worthington Kilbourne High School, everybody.
Phenomenal.
But yeah. Who Taylor? Who's the culprit of Poopgate?
Well, they claim to be a production person from the Drive to Survive, French. However, I don't think you just accidentally wander into Lewis Hamilton's personal toilet. I would imagine that's probably marked, probably in a specific area that's probably not open to everybody, the public or all of the.
Now Netflix was filming with Mercedes. They did have their annual access to the teams, and
Sure.
yeah, they were with Mercedes this weekend. So,
But I doubt it was an unmarked, just not a porta potty, but not as we think a porta potty that you see at a festival or something like that. I'm assuming it's like what you would see on a movie set type production type portable toilet thing. And
I wouldn't even say that. I would say like it's like there's like a secret like trap door in the wall in the paddock that you push. It's like the wall slides out, then you step in and you know.
He's got a bidet and everything.
Yeah.
No, I. Whatever it is, I assume it's.
He's got one of those
Wow.
fucking Japanese toilets with the heated seats.
Yeah. I assume whoever did it was well aware
Of what they were
how
doing.
bad it was. And I would love for it to be another driver that did it. That would just be phenomenal. And the fact that they left it there is just, see, how often do you do that? That's an intentional thing. That's intent. That doesn't just accidentally happen unless you're just such a just
What if here's
vulgar
what if the thing was what if in like the run up to the race in that like 4 hour window where nothing was happening and you know Aston Martin lost Sebastian Vettel or
That's what I was getting to.
you know they lost
The
him.
fact that Vettel couldn't be found for a certain amount of time. I wonder.
So I have another theory. What if it's like what if in that time frame that was when Mercedes finally like something clicked. And it's like, all right, let's just tell Valtteri now that we're going with George. And then Valtteri's like, oh, fuck this shit. I'm going to go poop in his toilet because he's the one who probably had something to do with it. And
They're like, we even spoke to Hamilton. He's on board with it. And
Yep.
like you know how like they let LeBron James make decisions behind the curtain. Like they're letting Lewis Hamilton make some decisions behind the curtain. And Bottas knew about it. He's like, you know what?
yeah, I'm gonna take a shit in his toilet.
And I'm not gonna flush it.
Yep.
And this is a detail that I want everybody to think about. I want to know, was there toilet paper involved? Was there any TP in the toilet? Because if not, this is another level of savagery. This is a whole nother level. That means somebody dropped it, pulled the trousers up, dipped.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna. I don't need to illustrate anymore. You know exactly.
My question would be because he didn't like imply that they're like there was no indication of whether or not he was talking about this as a normal dump. I wonder if Valtteri dropped an upper decker in there.
There's more questions. Was
Yep.
it a great brown snake, or was it?
Yes.
Just massive?
We need more information on the Phantom Pooper of Spa.
We need this information.
Yeah.
Was there TP? Was it an upper deck? Was it a brown snake?
Yeah.
We don't know.
You know,
Was it coiled up? I don't know. All we know is it will haunt dreams forever.
yeah, it will. It will haunt Lewis's dreams forever, according to, Fox Sports Australia.
According to Lewis, word for word in his car in the helmet.
I'll throw up the video. But all right, that's gonna be it for this week. So we will see you this upcoming weekend for the Dutch Grand Prix at the cm.com Circuit Zandvoort. I don't know what cm.com is. Mostly because I just couldn't be bothered to actually look it up and figure out what it is that they do.
Don't care.
It's Dutch. Here's my problem. And the way you spell Zandvoort is kind of the key to it all. And it's with the Dutch language. So it's Zandvoort.
Which is a silly language.
Yeah. It's like, no, I don't even think it's a language. I think Dutch is just sonar. When Dutch people are speaking to each other, they're literally just trying to figure out how far they are away from each other. Because, there's way too many fucking vowels in that language for it to make sense.
I'm with you. It's very.
Cue the Michael Caine from Austin Powers. There's only two things I don't like: it's people who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch. But yeah, we will see you for Max Verstappen's home race, the preview and debrief here soon. That Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next one. Adios.
From the top, let's go!